Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. What's going on? All right. So, I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Seems like my weekend's getting shorter and shorter, but you know what? I'm excited to be here on this Monday, the 12th, 2025, to talk to you about the different events that have taken place in the past few days. And the main thing that we're going to talk about today is what happened in Kentucky. No, I'm sorry, in New Jersey. Newark, New Jersey, where a group of Democrat politicians decided to storm this ICE facility. I don't get it. I don't get it. How is it that these Democrats are willing to go to the extreme measure for non-citizens of to the United States of America? They're fighting hard. They're fighting hard for these non-citizens. But those of us that are American citizens, we don't get the same level of fight for us when it comes to the Democrat Party. Now, when it comes to the Republican Party, which the Republican Party is not a peachy, they're not angels, but they are at least trying to put America first. That's their goal. The Democrats, they're straight up putting MS-13, Trey De Agua, and all these other criminals that came into the country illegally. They're putting them before the American people. And what I don't understand are why are some of these other Democrats that are not even politicians, why they're supporting this? These radical liberals don't care about us. And if this doesn't wake people up about what the Democrats are trying to do, then I don't know what will. They're literally kicking Americans to the curb. But with that said, you even have some of these Democrats saying that President Trump is deporting American citizens. And I want to tell y'all something, and this should be alarming to everybody. The Democrats are lying, saying that President Trump is deporting American citizens. So when they ever get back into power, when they ever get back into control, they're going to actually deport American citizens. Democrats are. And they're going to use the excuse saying that President Trump did it. You didn't say anything. When President Trump was deporting American citizens, you said nothing. So you can't say anything now. I'm telling you, this is exactly what they're going to try to do. And they're gearing it up because they're lying right now. If President Trump was deporting American citizens, I would be speaking up against it. He's not deporting American citizens at all. It's unconstitutional. It's against the law. President Trump's not even trying to. What President Trump is attempting to do is to make it safe and secure for all Americans, even those radical liberals that happen to be American. But you had these Congress people, these Democrat Congress people, and they stormed this ICE facility, this detention center. And one was Coleman, one was Rob Mendez, and then you had a McCaver. I think that's how you say her name. They attempted to conduct an unannounced oversight visit. Now, this visit that they went to this facility was not scheduled. They didn't have a formal meeting with this, but when you listen to them, they're all out there saying that, oh, we had every right to be there. And they're even lying because we went and did a simple Google search. All right, I guess I don't even Google any longer. It's either I do Grok or we do Chat GPT. I don't even do Google any longer. So my producer, you did Chat GPT, correct, Shannon? So you did Chat GPT, and Chat GPT told you that there was not even a scheduled meeting for them to be there.
Right. Actually, and the thing about ChatGPT that I like is it gives you the article that story belongs to. So Axios reported that they didn't have a scheduled appointment.
Axios.
Mm-hmm. It's
Axios.
total left leaning.
Left-leaning Axios said that they didn't have a scheduled meeting to be there. Left-leaning Axios, everyone. Axios, they could have lied. And, the Democrats would have gone along with it. They could have lied about it, but they didn't. Well, the Department of Homeland Security stated that the lawmakers had not requested a formal tour of the facilities. According to DHS, a bus of detainees was entering the security gate. The security gate. The group, including Congress members, stormed the gate and broke into the detention facility, leading to the confrontation of the federal officials. And now they got body cam footage released. Now they're releasing body cam footage where by DHS reportedly showing of the incident, including physical altercations between lawmakers and ICE officials. And of course, these Demoncrats, they go on to the liberal talk shows and they're saying that we did not attack any ICE members, ICE officers. We didn't do it. But you can see they clearly did. They were pushing one Congresswoman, I think McCover. She actually, you could see in the video where she was hitting one of the ICE members. And then she said she didn't do it. Oh, I didn't assault any of them. And you can clearly see it. No AI involved. You can clearly see it. Well, part of the reason why I believe that the Demoncrats are doing this aggressive attack on these ICE facilities is because President Trump has basically shut the border down. He has succeeded in doing so. Listen to Abby. This is an extremely short clip, and you can leave it split screen. Here's Abby basically saying President Trump succeeded. President Trump has won. You can bring it over for me? You can leave it split screen too, because it's a really short clip. And here's Abby saying that President Trump won and got the border shut down. And of course, the Demoncrats, they're not happy that President Trump shut the border down, that he's securing our borders. Listen.
Trump has succeeded. He has shut the border down. There are no border crossings virtually happening right now in this country.
He succeeded. That came out of Abby's mouth. As much as she dislikes President Trump, she's even saying it. He succeeded. He succeeded. Did Congress succeed by shutting the border down? No. President Trump did, which goes right back to how come Joe Biden couldn't do it. Why was Joe Biden not able to do what President Trump did? And President Trump actually shut it down within the first 100 days. He got it in control. He got it in order.
Yeah, well, and he did it with laws that already were on the books.
Yes.
They said that there wasn't the laws on the books, and they clearly were. All Trump had to do was follow the law.
All he had to do was follow the law. Or, all Joe Biden had to do was implement what President Trump already had in place. That's all he had to do. It was a done deal. And you know what? Had Joe Biden and the border czar, Kamala Harris, just implemented what President Trump did, the border would not have been an issue going in this last election. You understand what I'm telling you? It would not have been an issue. But they couldn't help themselves. They wanted to bring in a lot of people. And why do you think they wanted to bring them in? Because they wanted to add them. There was multiple reasons, but one reason is because they wanted to add all of these people to the census report. That's the reason why they want to bring them in, because they want to add them to the census report. And if they can add them to the census report, they can manipulate the electoral college. See, they don't even have to get these people to vote. Because when it comes to them doing the census report, they just count bodies. They don't count American citizens. And of course, the Democrats are upset with President Trump and the Republicans because they want to make it to where you only can be an American citizen to vote, meaning you show in voter ID. How dare you? This is discrimination. Against who? I'm black. I've always showed my ID when I went and voted. Well, talking about this facility, listen to AOC. And of course, she wasn't there. You know, the only time I remember her ever going to the facility when she went down to the southern border first time President Trump was in office, and she was on the border hanging onto the fence crying, "Oh, the children, the children." Remember that? But now she's not doing it. I guess she's too busy going on a filthy rich plane and a tour that's, $15,000 an hour, doing her oligarch tour with Bernie Sanders. I guess she's too busy doing that. But she wasn't too busy to put out a video.
Because that right there That kind of attitude is what is actually anti-American. That kind of attitude is what is actually treasonous, is to attack our Constitution and to attack the obligations that we have in our Constitution, to attack free speech, to attack the powers of Congress, to erode our ability to investigate and conduct oversight. That is what is un-American. And this administration and Kristi Noem spits on the American flag every time she does that.
Really? Really? So she's suggesting that Kristi Noem is spitting on the American flag when these radical Demoncrats don't have any issues burning the American flag. They love to burn the American flag, and they don't burn the American flag because of free speech. They burn it because they hate this country. She doesn't have any room to talk. And of course, Kristi Noem is not spitting on the American flag. She's protecting it.
Nonsense. So I don't want to hear anything about America first. These people and this administration is putting America last by...
Hold on. Are you kidding me? Now, you know what? I have to be honest about something. I didn't watch all of this video. I watched some of it. Now I'm like really irritated with this nut job. I'm really irritated with her. The Demoncrats have never put America first. President Trump's whole thing is America first. And he's putting Americans first. They don't want to do that. She's advocating for MS-13, Trey de Agua, and all of these other criminals. That's who she's advocating for. She's not advocating for the American people. She's not advocating for you. She's not. She's advocating for these criminals, talking about oversight. They're getting picked up because they committed a crime. That's the reason why they're getting picked up. You notice something? You notice these Demoncrats, they don't ever go to the jail cells where these black people have been locked up in California by Kamala Harris and other Demoncrats. You notice they've never done that for black people. They've never done this. Never, not a single time. Have you ever seen them do it? Absolutely not. But these non-American citizens, it's all day with them.
By acting like a man is who they are pledging allegiance to.
Oh my goodness.
That is not what this country is about. And it will never be what this country is about as long as I'm alive. I'll tell you that much. Anyways, that done pissed me off.
So she's now pissed off, but she's is she trying to take Kamala Harris's place with the cackling?
Oh, no, well, that's a good question. But you know what? Here's the thing. When she says that they have the right to investigate, they do have oversight right, but that's through hearings and such. They don't have the right to just go to a facility and demand to be let in. That's not what they can do. That's not the law. But they want you to act, they want you guys, not you, Will, but the audience to believe that they have free reign and they have oversight and they could just walk in anytime they want. That is not the truth. No. This is a law enforcement facility. They have to make an appointment. Can they make an appointment to make a tour? Well, sure, of course they can. But they can't just break in anytime they want.
Well, they like to believe that they have superior authority over everybody because they're Demoncrats. I remember a group of Republicans that tried to go visit a other group of Americans that were being detained without due process, mind you, without due process, in a jail cell in D.C., Washington, D.C. They were detaining Americans there, and they would not allow anyone to go visit them. You can't make it up. They would not allow Republicans to go in there and visit these detainees that the Biden regime was holding hostage. They were straight up holding them hostage. Well, I don't know. I'm not going to really show too much of, I'm not going to show, there's actually some violent parts in the videos that's been coming out, but I'm not going to show them for some obvious reasons. But here they are talking about what took place at the facility on the Communist News Network. And of course, CNN trying to paint the brush that this is all because of President Trump, and they're trying to prevent these lawmakers from doing their jobs.
Jessica, the Department of Homeland Security has since released the body cam video. I have combed through all of the video that they made available. We're going to show you portions of it now. And you can clearly see that, yes, there was very much a scuffle, a lot of pushing and shoving. I should note that you see the blurred faces there. That was done by the Department of Homeland Security. They gave us the video with the faces blurred. But at no point throughout this video do you see any body slamming of officers going on. And we spoke to Congresswoman Coleman about that this morning for her to describe exactly what happened there. She was one of the 3 members of Congress who was trying to get access to the facility yesterday. This is what she said actually happened during the scuffle.
He's given permission to his cabinet and those who work for him to lie. And she's lying too. And so I was there. I saw it. I was a part of it. I was in the middle of it. We did not in any way, shape, or form disrespect the physicality of any of those ICE agents. And to say so is just to perpetuate the kind of lying that we are experiencing in this country at the highest levels.
Really? Because there's video footage of them out there storming that facility. Are we not supposed to believe the videos that we were seeing? And they actually just showed some of it. So they just showed some of the video of them acting like tyrants, not being peaceful. But then she turns around and said it never even happened. It's almost like we're watching a movie and you see the real thing that happens, and then they turn around and lie to the people and tell you it didn't happen. And some people go, yeah, that never happened. It never happened, even after they're watching it happen.
And it's disgusting.
Now, Jessica, going back to why this facility has been such a source of focus for lawmakers, this is slated to be a pretty large ICE detention center in an area where, as you know, there's a large immigrant community. We know that the Trump administration has an immigration agenda that will require additional resources. This is expected to be part of those resources. But the local lawmakers, including Mayor Ras Baraka, have been critical, not only of the facility, but of the fact that they say the facility is operating without the proper permits. In the meantime, Mayor Baraka is facing trespassing charges, and it's unclear whether or not we will see any additional action against these other members, as Secretary McLaughlin suggested earlier today that there would be as a result of this ongoing investigation.
Every last one of them should go to jail. Every last one of them. Because just because you are in a position as a lawmaker, a politician, a governor, a mayor, and you go out and break the law, remember they constantly said it, no one's above the law. They constantly said that no one's above the law. So here they are breaking the law. They should go to jail. They need to go to jail. And if they don't go to jail, it's just going to prove that it is a 2-tier justice system.
Yeah, well, and actually, Homeland Security warned them several times. That article that I gave you, it says Homeland Security gave the mayor and the congresspeople several warnings saying that they did not have an appointment, that they could not come in, that it was unlawful for them to just break in. And they literally waited for a bus to storm in. Now, what do you call that? And the reason why the mayor was getting arrested, because there's a video of one of these videos showing him getting arrested. And of course, the Congress people are like, wow, he shouldn't have been arrested. He was arrested for trespassing because he was told that if he came in, it would be trespassing. These people were given a warning, and they still did it, knowing that that's what they were doing.
They still did it. And well, here's one where the older lady was actually able to go inside the facility, and she walked in, but I guess they didn't get the access that they were looking for. They didn't get to go in there and investigate and take pictures and take videos and say, oh, look at the horrible, inhumane conditions. So because they were not able to do that, they came out and they were being really disruptive.
Stand up for us!
We will be your eyes and your ears.
See this?
And we will report to you, Mayor.
Yes, shut it down.
So they're wanting them to shut it down. No, they don't have no authority to shut this down. None at all. But you can hear the people yelling, and the mayor, he was on the other side of the fence. But you have these Congress people, they're on this side, but they still didn't get the access that they wanted. You know how you know they didn't get the access that they wanted? Because they're complaining, and they went out basically fighting with the ICE members. Because if they got the access that they wanted, they could have gone in there, probably take pictures, make it look like a certain way, and lie to the public, and then say, oh my goodness, look what President Trump is doing. He has American citizens in there. No, he doesn't. There's no American citizens being deported. They're lying.
Woman who was at that protest, Congresswoman Bonnie Watson Coleman. Congresswoman, so good to see you. So, describe, if you could, what happened.
So we were there for a tour. ICE was giving us the runaround. We finally got into a facility. We heard some noise. We came out. We found out the mayor was there, and ICE was having conversations with him. They asked him to leave the facility. He left the facility, went behind the gates, out there with the protesters. The ICE members were talking on the phone. We hear them say, all right, we're going to go to arrest him. We ask, why are you arresting him? He's not on the property. He's not on your property. They ignored us. They opened the gate. They pushed through people. There were several armed guards, and they went to get to the mayor. And LaMonica and Rob and I tried to shield the mayor. I don't know anything about anybody hitting back at any of those large and weaponized officers.
Now, what you're not seeing here, and they keep cutting it out, they're not showing where they were hitting the members of ICE. Especially the one in the red. There's another video where she's coming over and she's hitting them. She hit him a couple of times. They're not showing that, and they're purposely not showing it. Why? I mean, come on. It's obvious. It's the Communist News Network.
This whole issue of arresting the mayor on what was public property was wrong. There's no reason to arrest him. ICE caused this chaos, and it was just an illustration of their responding to someone at a very high level in the organization, because we had all of the New Jersey ICE officers and supervisors there on the ground with us to conduct the tour. So our question was, why are you arresting the mayor who is not on your property? Why are you causing this chaos? And why are you treating people with such disrespect and humiliating the mayor of the largest city of the state of New Jersey? And why are you pushing on us? You know who we are. We've been here for 2 hours trying to conduct a tour that we're legally able to do.
So your interpretation, and your use of words is very different from the spokesperson for DHS who was on CNN. She used the words body slamming, saying that the mayor and other members of Congress were body slamming and were being rough with the ICE officials. You're disputing that.
Yeah, so how ridiculous does that sound? They're 200 pounds. They've got about 35 pounds worth of stuff around them, including a gun on their arms. I can tell you what I think about what they're saying. The president of the United States opens his mouth every day and lies. He can't breathe without lying.
Okay, so is President Trump saying that, and it's, of course, it's not this woman, this old woman here. It's not her that was slamming her body up against other people. It's the other woman. It's the black woman that was in red. She was slamming her body up to other people while she was hitting the ICE members. When she was hitting the ICE officers, you can clearly see in other videos that she was slamming her body up against them. She's not a small lady. And I'm talking about the one in the red. But this one here, she's just on here trying to do damage control, trying to make it look like they're innocent. And of course, CNN, they're not showing the full video. They keep cycling back around so that you will have an impression that it wasn't them that were doing the disruption, talking about the Demoncrats, but it was ICE.
He's given permission to his cabinet and those who work for him to lie. And she's lying too.
Oh my goodness.
And so I was there. I saw it. I was a part of it. I was in the middle of it. We did not in any way, shape, or form disrespect the physicality of any of those ICE agents. And to say so is just to perpetuate the kind of lying that we are experiencing in this country at the highest levels.
Okay, and again, she's saying that President Trump is lying about what? President Trump wasn't at the facility. President Trump didn't try to storm the facility. These Demoncrats did. President Trump wasn't out there beating anyone or hitting anyone over the head. They were. So what is she talking about? And then just another video I played where they were saying that they were going out there about to arrest the mayor because the mayor was out there causing disruption, and they said arrest him. Because if you incite violence, then it's ground for you to be arrested. And that's the reason why they arrested him. And so what did they do? They ran out there and tried to interfere, tried to prevent ICE from detaining the mayor. So they ran out there and did that. Did the mayor get deported? Did he get deported? Did he? Because to my understanding, I think you have to be an American citizen to be mayor. You have to be an American citizen to be mayor. So did they deport him? No.
And it's disgusting.
And in some of the video that we're seeing here, just prior.
Now you see that? Do you see that? Here's a prime example. And they keep cycling back around, but right here, you see they got the mayor right there. And then it comes to right here where they show the lady in red. Now you notice they're not really showing what she was doing because she was hitting ICE officers. She was hitting them. Straight up hitting them. There's video of her hitting them. And of course, CNN, being who they are, doesn't show it to you.
The video that we're seeing here, just prior to, the arrest. I don't know if you're able to see on your monitor at the same time. We do
I'm
see.
not.
Okay, well, I'll try to describe as best I can. We see the mayor who is inside the fence with a number of people who have gathered, and then it looks like he's exiting. He's exiting the fence area, and you're saying, if I'm understanding you right, that is the portion that is now public property, and that is when he is approached by ICE officials and then arrested. Do you remember where you were in proximity to that?
You see how they're trying to build this story up, the lies. You see how they're trying to create this narrative. Oh, so now he's on the private property, right? That's when it's okay. You see, he came out. So at this point, he's not doing anything wrong. He can be there because it's public property. You see how they're trying to play this up?
But he had already trespassed.
And just because you decide to trespass and you go back on the public property, it still gives them every right to arrest you. But they're trying to play it up like, oh, they arrested him on private property. They never talk about him trespassing.
You on the inside of the fence or the outside?
I was on the outside of the fence holding on to the mayor because we were determined to shield the mayor from any kind of danger or abuse of power on the part of ICE agents. They came outside of the property onto where the protesters were, which was not any part of the detention facility, and they arrested the mayor there. When they asked the mayor to leave when he was inside after they had invited him inside, then they asked him to leave. He turned around and left. He did exactly as they asked. And so for them to react in the way that they did was so abusive, unnecessary, and disrespectful. And if they can do that to us, they can do that to the mayor of the largest city in the state of New Jersey. They can do that to treat 3 members of Congress, and they knew who we were because we'd been there trying to do the tour for over 2 hours. then we're very concerned what they're doing on the streets to people who are simply living their lives, going to work, dropping their kids off from school, going to the grocery store. ICE is out of control, and it's been given permission to be out of control.
And as we continue to replay, I see now you on one side of the fence as the mayor was leaving in proximity. You're talking to him, and then at some point, he is turned around and he is arrested. The DHS spokesperson I mentioned, who was on the air earlier, is saying that the videotape, the body cam video that would be released later, would show the violent nature of the mayor and others body slamming. We don't see that on this videotape, but we do see some movement of bodies and the tussling of the moving of the body cam vantage point, but it doesn't appear to show the mayor being violent or members of Congress being violent.
Really? Of course. You know why it doesn't show that? Because they're not showing it to you. And they're not going to show it to you. Because they have a narrative that they have to push. I'm so sick and tired of these Demoncrats lying. Why did they have to go to the facility in the first place? There's not Americans being detained in there. So why are they there? And again, it's because they don't care about Americans. And I'm going to say this, and please forgive me. You're stupid if you think the Demoncrats care about this country. You really are. And if you're a Democrat yourself, that just makes you dumb if you're siding with these stupid people. This is ridiculous. This is the United States of America. And these are people that's supposed to be representing the people of this country. They're not supposed to be there fighting for people, criminals that came into the country illegally. You're supposed to be helping the law facilitate their exit out of the country. But the Demoncrats, they have a different agenda. And I keep telling y'all, they are going to double down even more. And you know what? I'm kind of hoping that they don't stop, to be honest with you. And the reason why I say that, because when the midterm elections come up, if they continue down this path of fighting for MS-13, Tren de Agua, and all these other criminal elements, they continue down this path, it's going to help make it a lot easier for the Republicans to sweep them again. It's going to make it a lot easier. And it's probably going to be a bigger sweep this next round. And I look forward to it. The Democrat Party serves no purpose in this country for the American people. None at all. I encourage you, tell me, say, Will Johnson, you're wrong. The Democrat Party, they do all of these wonderful things for the American people. They're trying to make life so much better for everyone. Really? Show it to me. Show it to me. I would love to see it. But you don't have anything. You have nothing. Nada. All right, let's do this plug real quick. Can we do that? This coffee, 1775.com, 1775coffee.com.
That's right, Will. Have you guys tried the 1775 coffee yet? Well, here's your shot. The 1775 starter kit just dropped only 1,000 units. You're getting the bold, dark roast that hits harder than CNN fact check, the smooth medium roast, and the Vitality mushroom coffee for clean energy and laser focus with no crash, which most people hate the crash. All single origin, small batch, toxin free and mold free. Plus, you're also getting this. Listen to this. You're getting a gold spoon clip because freedom isn't scooped with plastic, a frother strong enough to stir up your coffee and your mother-in-law's political opinions, and a black 1775 tumbler that says, I don't take life advice or caffeine from a woke sea witch. All that. Yep. $170 worth of coffee and gear, yours for only $99. This is for the ones who've been watching 1775 blow up on Rumble, wondering if it's actually worth it. Spoiler alert, it is. Go to 1775coffee.com/studio and grab your starter kit before they're gone. The bold beans, the clean fuel, and a morning routine that stands for something, just like Rumble does. Start your day with coffee that actually backs what you believe. That's right. Go to 1775coffee.com/studio and grab yours today.
1775coffee.com. Go check it out. Go check it out. You will not regret it. I'm telling you right now. Okay, let's get back to some more of this. Now, I'm looking in the comments and I see people in the comments and there's people who agree with me. Let me ask y'all in the comments real quick. Is there anyone that think that these politicians should go to jail? I mean, they've been arrested, but I think they should be fined. And I think they should go to jail. And whatever position that they're in, when you break the law and you're a politician, I think you should lose that seat. How quick do you think that they will stop doing this? How quick do you think? And if you get on the airplane and you go to another country and you're advocating for a non-American citizen, a gang member who's been designated as a terrorist group member, you should lose your seat. You should not be able to come back to the United States of America and occupy that seat. So if you're a politician, you should lose it. It should become vacant. 100%. It should become vacant. Same thing if you're a mayor and you show up at these ICE facilities and you're other politicians, lawmakers, and you show up at these ICE facilities and you're fighting with ICE members, you should be forced to lose your seat immediately. I bet you that would nip it in the bud. I wonder, can President Trump do an executive order for that? Being that he is the top law officer of the land? I'm just kind of curious. There's something to think about, is it not? Think about that, everyone. If you're going to break the law like they are doing, if they're not going to go to jail, if nothing else, they should lose their seat. They're trying to make President Trump lose his seat, and then they're going to go, but Will Johnson, he's been tried for, 34 counts. We know that was fraudulent. Ask Letitia James. Letitia James is in trouble for what she's done because she did it to President Trump, and karma comes right back around. Karma, you gotta love it. Well, here's some more. Now, here's the woman that was actually the black woman there. She was the one that's actually being violent. And when you take black women somewhere and they're not happy, they tend to get violent. I'm just saying. Hey, look, you can't make it up. I didn't make it up. But of course, she's all innocent. And now she's the victim, just like a good Democrat black person. They become the victim. You can't make it up.
Congresswoman McIver, I want to go back to some of the footage. We were looking at some, and I want our viewers to see that you are the woman in the red blazer as we show them.
Now, I wonder, are they going to show where she was hitting the ICE members? I wonder, are they going to show that here?
The DHS says that
right there. He actually saw it. Did you see it, Shannon? So right there, she pushed. There's an ICE member, and you can't really see it too well from this angle, but there's an ICE member that's not facing her. She hits him in the back.
She raises her arm, I think.
Yeah,
you can
she
see
hits
her
him
arm
in the back.
raised.
There's actually another video. Of
I was going to say,
angle.
I actually saw a different angle where you can see her raise her
angle.
arm.
Yes, where she does, because she does actually do it. And of course, the Communist News Network, they show this one so they can come out and say, it's been debunked. She never did touch him. She never did touch him. But the other angle clearly shows that she hit him.
DHS says that obviously that there were chaos, that maybe you were trespassing. You can talk about that. But the DHS also says that, in their words, you were body slamming an ICE officer. Is that what we're looking at? Is that what happened?
I think that's what we're looking at. And see, they're taking body slam like you pick them up and you throw them, slam them down on the ground. You can slam your body up against somebody. And she's not a petite person, if you know what I mean. She's not at all. She's like Fonnie Willis size. And she's doing this and she's slamming her body up against the ICE members. I'm surprised they even showed that much.
In their words, you were body slamming an ICE officer.
Look at that.
Is that what we're looking at? Is that what happened?
Here come the
Absolutely
lies.
no. I mean, I honestly do not know how to body slam anyone. There's no video that supports me body slamming anyone. We, as Congresswoman Bonnie Watson Coleman said, we were simply there to do our job. Therefore, oversight
Look at
visit, and what you're watching in a video, and we don't have all of the body cam, and we hope that all of the body cam is released. It was a very tense situation. It unfortunately did not have to be like that. They created that confrontation, they created that chaos, and then ultimately went to arrest.
Who created the chaos? She just said that they created the chaos. Why is she there for non-American citizens? Who created the chaos?
The mayor of the largest city of New Jersey, who is my mayor and my constituent. And it was very difficult to watch that happen. But absolutely, I did not body slam anyone.
But she slammed her body up against ICE members. So I guess that doesn't count because she didn't pick somebody up and slam them down on the ground. Right? That's what they're alluding to. But you can slam your body up against somebody, and that is still considered body slamming. It still is, regardless. It may not be as effective as picking somebody up and slamming down on the ground. I think we would all agree to that. But it's still a form of body slamming. You can slam your body up against somebody, and she's not a small person. She's really not. She's not a small person at all. Well, here's some more from her on the Communist News Network.
Is the reason why we were there in the first place, to have a tour of this facility that had just opened up on May 1st. It had over 100 detainees. We were getting reports prior to our tour that children were there. We did not know the status of the facility or the status of the detainees. And so that is why we showed up there to do our job as members, and New Jerseyans count on us to do our job. Immigration has been something that's in the back doors, in the backyards of New Jersey, and it's our jobs to make sure everything is running properly at this facility.
It is not their stinking jobs to go to these facilities and advocate for non-American citizens. It's not their jobs. Their jobs are their actual constituents. These are not their constituents. These people shouldn't have been able to vote for them. They're not able to vote for them. It's not their job to go advocate for people that have broken the law. What are we dealing with here? Are we dealing with spiritual things? I think that we truly are. This is what I mean by that. Because these people, they're only advocating for people who break the law, who do criminal acts. They're not doing this for those of us that love this country. They're not doing that at all. They're doing just the opposite. You gonna say something, Shannon?
Yeah, well, and it's interesting how all of a sudden they care where the children are, right? Under Joe Biden, they could care less where the children were. We were saying there was how many missing children? At one point they said over 80,000. Then it went over 100,000 children missing. Today, Holman is saying that they're still searching for all these children that are missing. And they didn't care then.
Yeah, there was a report there was over 400,000 children missing. They have no concern about them. They had no concern. They don't even want to ask or question where these children are. But now all of a sudden, there's children in this facility. We need to get them out. We need to get them out. What are they going to do with them when they get them out? Disappear them? We'll never know what happened to them. These are sick, demonic individuals. 100%. I can't even believe that the Democrat Party is even doubling down on defending these criminals like this. And we saw it started happening when George Floyd all kicked in. When they were out there advocating and destroying half the country, over $2 billion in insurance policies, because they destroyed so much. They were actually advocating for a criminal. And it's, oh my goodness, the injustices that are happening in this country. So we have to tear everything up because of it. And guess what? They're still doing it today. And now they're doing it with hardcore criminals. Hardcore criminals. Are you okay with them not doing for you, the American people? Well, listen to Jayapal. Jayapal, she's a sitting member of Congress. And how she got in this position, I don't know. It makes me wonder, Will Johnson maybe need to run for a political office. I mean, she's there, AOC, the rest of them. Like I told you in the beginning, as soon as they get the opportunity to get back in position, they're actually going to deport American citizens. And the reason why I say that is because they're saying this is what President Trump is doing. You don't believe me that they're saying this? Well, listen to what she says here. She's actually saying it out loud, that President Trump is detaining and deporting American citizens. No American citizens are getting deported. None at all. Now, what they're referring to, what she leaves out, is that the mom, the dad are illegally here in the country, had an anchor baby. These people that shouldn't be here, probably never even tried to attempt to become an American citizen. They broke the law. They're getting deported. And the mom is saying, well, I don't want my child to be left here. I want my child to go with me. Nothing wrong with that. If you decide to move to another state, you don't leave your child in the state. If you decide to move to another country, you're more than likely not going to leave your child in the country that you're leaving. So these moms, these family members, they're taking the children with them. They can, on the other hand, leave them here. They can. They can leave the child here with family member, or what do they call them? What do they call them? That someone designated to take care of the family, the child. A guardian. Thank you. I don't know why I can't think of that. A guardian. They can leave him here with a guardian. The law allows it. They can leave him with a guardian. But the mom or the dad, which in my case, if I had to go back to another country, I would want my children to be with me. I don't care where I am. I would want my children to be with me. So they're using that because the mom is wanting the child to go with them, that President Trump is deporting American citizens. But if they ever get back into power, hear me now, believe me later on, you know what I'm telling you is right. They're going to say that President Trump was just picking random people up off the street and deporting them. So this means we get to do it to you. And they're going to do it to MAGA Republicans and Christians.
This is an amendment about making sure that we follow ICE's own policy that it cannot detain U.S. citizens. And Mr. Liu is correct that it's batshit crazy that I got to introduce this amendment.
Sorry about the language, but you hear her? The Democrats, for some reason here lately, believe that they have to curse, right, to get their point across. Like they're emphasizing on something more than it really is.
But it is also the reality that I have to introduce this amendment because it is happening. The examples that I gave, multiple examples, and I could give you more, are happening. This is happening. ICE is detaining and deporting U.S. citizens.
Oh, my goodness. Right there. Right there. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? Now, there should be consequences on Capitol Hill for these idiots when they lie like this. Now, if you and I, if we're subpoenaed and we have to go talk to them and we lie to them, you know they'll put us in jail. Did you know that? They will put us in jail. Ask Steve Bannon. They'll put us in jail. Even if you don't lie, they'll still put you in jail. But listen, watch this. Listen to this. She actually said American citizens. And of course, she leave out the key details that these illegals that are here, that got deported, they want to take their children with them. She's leaving out key detail.
Happening. ICE is detaining and deporting U.S. citizens.
Wow.
You all represent U.S. citizens. That's who elected you. So if you vote no on this amendment, you are actually voting to be able to deport, for ICE to be able to deport your own constituents.
Children can't vote. Kids cannot vote. You have to be the age of 18. You have to be the age of 18 in order to vote. None of them are getting deported. Their parents are taking the children with them. Y'all see this? This is a play on words. I don't know. You know what? I guarantee this. Check this out. Years from now, if the Democrats ever get back in position, y'all not going to even remember that. Some people won't even remember that I even said what I'm saying right now. That they're going to utilize this to deport Christians, detain Christians, and those of us that love this country. They're going to use this right now because they're lying about it right now, and they're going to use this lie that they're creating. See, they're thinking about the future. Go ahead and build this momentum up. Let's get everyone to believe that President Trump is deporting American citizens, and he's not doing that. Again, the children, they can stay with the guardian. They can stay. She leaves out the key details. They always do.
To be able to deport, for ICE to be able to deport your own constituents. The US citizens that are being arrested in red states and blue states, in your districts and my districts. And once again, if you can do this to one group, you can do it to any group.
Oh, so I wish we had a little bit more of that, because she's probably going to go on and say, well, if they can do it to any group, they're going to start doing it to people of color. They're going to start doing it to black people. You know, that's what she's getting to. If they can do it to one group, they can do it to another group. Well, if they do it to one group that's breaking the law, that's not American citizens, that's fine. But they're not going to do it to American citizens. But the Democrats would like for everyone to believe that they are. Not going to happen. Well, I played all of these clips from the Communist News Network, from the radical left. I want to play one that is somewhat leaning to the right. Somewhat. Okay, somewhat. Homeland Security. Here's a statement from them about this. Is she with Homeland Security? Or they're just doing a report on it? Here, let's just play it and then we'll talk about it.
A mob of protesters stormed this gate to try and enter the detention facility. The detention facility holds members of MS-13, child rapists, murderers, arsonists, drug traffickers, American killers, and for them to try and get these individuals out is just beyond the pale. We know that the mayor, we know these members of Congress want their 15 minutes of fame so desperately, but they're willing to do it at the peril of the safety of our brave law enforcement and even the detainees as well.
So they're trying to release these criminals back into the streets of America. I don't think most of us think how serious this really is, because we have members of the U.S. Congress trying to release the criminal element onto the streets of America. Your family's not safe with these Demoncrats in office. You know that, right? You realize that, right? Your families are not safe. Your daughters are not safe. Your sons are not safe. I mean, they're lacing opioids with fentanyl, and the Democrats know that it's happening with these drug cartels bringing them into the country, and the Democrats have nothing to say about it. They're not even trying to stop it. I remember one time when Joe Biden or Karine Jean-Pierre, when they did a press conference, and she came out and said that they were going to try to do something to, prevent the fentanyl, acting like they're tough on it, and nothing ever changed about it. More Americans lost their lives because of the fentanyl coming into the country. And they never tried to do anything to prevent it. Now, President Trump is stopping it. It's like the money flow, the children flow has come to an almost complete halt. And these Democrats, they're upset about it. They don't understand. They're like, what do we do to fix this? How do we fix this? How do we make it better? What can we do? Is there anything that we can do to make it better? Is there anything that we can do to help it, to help the criminals? This is what the Democrats are doing. This is their goal. What can we do to make things better for the criminal? Not the American people. They can care less. Well, if I can, let me jump to this one. Here's something that President Trump is doing that is positive for the United States of America. Last week, President Trump got a deal through with the tariffs. With what country, Shannon? With what
Last
country?
weekend it was UK. This past weekend it was
the
China.
UK.
Yeah.
The UK. And when President Trump actually got a confirmed deal through with the UK, the Demoncrats, they were like, well, that's just low-hanging fruit. They're an ally. We kind of expect them to come on board anyways. No, they didn't. They wanted the UK to fight against President Trump because of what's happening in the UK, all of the radical stuff is going on there. They were hoping that they would fight against President Trump. Well, when that went through, they tried to act like, well, no big deal, no surprise. Now, China and the Demoncrats, now they're not happy about it.
I want to echo the Secretary's remarks with respect to the Swiss government. They've been so welcoming, and they've hosted this, and everything has gone off flawlessly, and we appreciate that. And again, to the Chinese negotiators, Vice Premier Liu He, Vice Minister Li Qiangong, and Vice Minister Liao Min worked very diligently, and these are very tough negotiators. A couple of them I know from before and have had past interactions with them. And this was, as the Secretary pointed out, a very constructive 2 days. It's important to understand how quickly we were able to come to agreement, which reflects that perhaps the differences were not so large as maybe thought. That being said, there was a lot of groundwork that went into these 2 days. Just remember why we're here in the first place. The United States has a massive $1.2 trillion trade deficit. So the president declared a national emergency and imposed tariffs. And we're confident that the deal we struck with our Chinese partners will help us to work toward resolving that national emergency.
Right there. President Trump doing positive things. Positive things. All right, let's go to this quick. I'm going to show you something else really quick, but I want to talk about this before I show this special thing to you.
Hold on.
We're going to do the True Social.
Yep, we're going to talk about True Social, right? If you're looking for a great place online for news, discussion, and entertainment, then check out True Social, Donald Trump's social media website. Trump's social media website, you'll get breaking news stories and commentary commentary from top media figures. If you want to see Trump's legendary True Social posts, then get on True Social today. Join growing community of patriots on a free speech platform designed to avoid censorship and cancellation by big tech. Make your voice heard. Join the movement. Join Truth Social.
Join True Social today. And you can see that's my handle right there. Okay. Now, I want to play something. We got we got 2 minutes. We got 2 minutes starting right now. We got 2 minutes. I want to play something for you. Now, I'm not going to play the other video where you saw Emmanuel Macron. Have y'all seen that? Emmanuel Macron, he's sitting at this table and he has this little piece of paper, a little package, and there's a little scooper not too far from it. And there's 3 people in there, and they go to sit back down, and Emmanuel Macron grabs a little paper and he cuffs it up under, like hoping no one saw that. And then the other guy just covers up the little scooper. And what is it for? Typically, the little paper has nose candy in it, and the little scooper is putting the nose candy in the nose, right? That's what it's for. I mean, you've seen enough movies. I don't do it. Never done it. Never done it myself. But I want y'all to look at this. I don't know who made this, but this is so Emmanuel Macron, Trudeau, and even Zelensky. I mean, do you know what it is? Do you know what that is, Shannon? What is that?
It's a nose.
It's a nose.
That's hilarious.
It's going up and sniffing all the powder up. The nose candy. It's getting it too. Look at it. It's working on getting it all. It's working on getting it all. I mean, have y'all seen those videos? Oh my goodness. They've gone viral and then some. And then of course they try to act like, it didn't happen. It's not really there. It's not there. It's not, that's not what you think it is, really. And then they show all of those videos where Emmanuel Macron touching his nose, along with
Zelensky touching
and a
his
whole
nose.
bunch of other people, that's, these globalists, they're all like touching their nose. Like, you can't make it up. Can't make it up. UniteAmericaFirst.com, UniteAmericaFirst.com. Please go to UniteAmericaFirst.com, sign up for the free newsletter. And if you like my work, you want to help me continue, you want to support me, UniteAmericaFirst.com/donate. I would greatly appreciate your help. I need your help. I need your assistance to keep the lights on, to keep on going. God bless everyone. We will see you tomorrow right here on Tuesday. God bless. Take care.